So today we're going to be talking about 7 common mistakes on landscaping websites and how to fix them. So the first is not including social proof on your website. So written testimonials, Google reviews from your customers, they all kind of instill confidence in the services that you're offering, and they let prospects who are visiting your website think that, okay, this person, this landscaper is going to be able to fulfill the work, and I don't have a lot of risk that they're not going to be able to deliver on it, or they're going to do a bad job, or they're going to gouge me on price. So Google reviews are going to be a lot better than text-only reviews. So if possible, you want to get those Google reviews on your Google My Business profile. And ideally, you can also get a couple of video reviews from your clients. You can use if you're using WordPress, there's a great review plugin called Trust Index that you can use to get to embed those reviews from Google on your website. They have a free and a paid version. I typically just use the free version, and it works just fine. It's a great way to showcase the reviews and also show that they come from Google. Because it'll be viewed by people as being more trustworthy if they're verified reviews that are on Google. Another thing that I see a lot of it is not including keywords on your website, and this kind of goes into search engine optimization, and that can get into kind of there's a lot of pieces to that, but at a very basic level, Google is looking at your website and trying to figure out what, based on the text on the website, what is this web page about and what should I rank it for. So you want to basically, just to start with, install an SEO plugin. If you're using WordPress, you can use Rank Math or Yoast. Both are free plugins. You want to include the keywords on your website in the title tag, in the content, in the URL. You don't want to overdo that, though. You don't want to just have landscaper in Bristol, Connecticut 30 times on your web page. That's going to look unnatural to Google. You want to embed it a few times, but not too much. Figuring out the right keywords to go after. You can use Google Search Console, which is a free tool from Google. It's a bit complicated to set up, but if you can use that, it's going to show you what your website is already appearing for, what keywords, and you can figure out which keywords to spend more time optimizing for. Another tool you can use if you have no data to work with and you have a brand new site is Google Ads Keyword Planner, which is a free tool, but you do have to have an account, so you can create an account, pause the campaign immediately so that you don't spend any money, and you can use then that tool to see what keywords people are bidding on, because those are the keywords that actually have traffic. Another mistake is not having call to actions on your website. So you want to make it very easy for visitors to find your contact information and to contact you. So that means including the phone number in the header of your website, making sure it's enabled with click to call so that when somebody clicks on it and they're on a mobile phone, they can directly dial that number. They don't have to actually copy and paste that number or type out that number. You want to make it as easy as possible for somebody to contact you. So make sure that you'll have less screen real estate on mobile devices, so you want to make sure that you at least have some level of call to action for either filling out a contact or request a quote form or calling you on both the desktop and mobile versions of your website. Another thing is not being responsive. So a lot of times it used to be that websites looked the same on a mobile device as they did on a desktop computer. But for many years, as kind of mobile devices have become so much more popular and people have started using them for browsing websites, web developers have created what are called responsive websites. And what that basically means is that your web page, your website will change how it's organized, how it appears, depending on the screen size. So if you're on a mobile phone, it reorganizes itself. The navigation at the top of the page condenses down into this hamburger menu that you have to click on to then see the navigation. A lot of times the logo will shrink down. The web page basically just reorganizes so that the information is displayed more optimally for mobile devices, for phones and tablets. Google uses responsiveness as a ranking factor. And since most landscaping businesses are going to get a good chunk, if not the majority, of their traffic from phones. So you want to make sure that people have as good an experience browsing your website on a mobile phone as they would on a desktop computer. And people really just expect that sites are going to be easy to view on a mobile device. So if you don't have a responsive website, you want to make sure that you contact your web developer or whatever tool you're using to build your website. You want to make sure that you're configuring it so that it is responsive. Another mistake is having a stale website. So Google rewards sites that are updated on a regular basis. So that can mean posting pictures, like especially before and after ones, adding testimonials as they come in. Another thing you can do is create pages talking about the landscaping jobs that you did in a specific town, right? So you can talk about a specific landscaping job that you did in, let's say, Hamden, Connecticut, right? So take a look at you can kind of post, you can create a page that talks about what the project was, what the equipment you used, shows them before and after pictures. If you can have the client show a testimonial, give you a testimonial that you could include on that page, that can be great too. But basically build out a page so that you can then try to potentially get traffic from people who are searching for Hamden, Connecticut landscaper, right? Because you've built a page around Hamden, you're including those keywords that reference Hamden, and you can potentially get more traffic from that page simply by talking about a job that you've done. And if you're in an area of the country that has seasonality to it, and you don't do as much work in the winter, you just plow in the winter, it's a great time to kind of build out these pages and talking about the previous work that you've done, and kind of build out the content so that Google sees that you have a fresh website and is being updated on at least a regular or semi-regular basis. Another mistake is having a slow website. So page speed is a ranking factor for Google. It means that if Google looks at your website when it crawls it, it's going to figure out how fast it loads. And if you have a slow website, you're not going to rank as well as if you have a faster website. So you can check your page speed with various tools such as Google PageSpeed Insights. And you basically want to get that tool showing green above 90 for the various performance aspects that it looks at. One of the things you can do to speed up your website is to use what's called a caching plugin. It basically makes it so that your website will load faster in a lot of cases, and that you can use that something like WP Rocket or WP Fastest Cache if you're on WordPress. If you're on another platform, you'd have to contact your web developer or the company that provides the tool that you use to build your website and see how can you make your website faster. The last item is not having an SSL certificate. You want to make sure your website shows a padlock next to the URL. All browsers will show some indication that the website is secure. And what this basically means, what an SSL certificate basically does, is it allows you to send encrypted traffic between your computer and the web server. So for a landscaping website, you're not entering credit card information typically, so it doesn't really do much, but browsers will warn you if you're going to a website that is not secure. So that's the reason to have it, because people have been, they're basically knowledgeable enough now that if they see something is not secure, they're going to be very cautious about going to it. So you want to make sure that when you go to your website with http:// whatever your website is, that it automatically redirects to HTTPS, and that it shows that secure padlock, and it doesn't show some kind of security warning. So those are the 7 common mistakes that are on landscaping websites. And I'm John with Pinpoint Digital, and I specialize in working with landscapers on their websites and their online marketing. And feel free to give me a call if you have a need for any help with your website. And I hope you'll take the time to watch more of my content and like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.